Hello again. Welcome to the first video in a mini-series I'm making this month covering Trial of Ascension. The mini-series is going to be geared towards beginner to intermediate players who are either just beginning Trial of Ascension or who are getting stuck on certain levels. So in this series I'm going to go over my team and my strategies for the levels, hopefully to help you guys complete TOA. So the team I'm using is the team I actually cleared Trial of Ascension for the first time last reset, and I use the team you see below. I sometimes swapped Shannon out for Spectra or Colleen, but this time I really wanted to only use this team because Shannon pretty much carried me from 80 to 100 last time. So since she was pretty much going beast mode, I decided to 6-star her and put the resources into her to make her stronger. And all of the tiny improvements you make to your team will help you clear Trial of Ascension much faster, and you'll die less on certain levels. So I definitely recommend, and I'm even doing it too, I'm making these small upgrades to make my life easier, basically. So this team, as you can see, is completely farmable and fusible. If you haven't fused Vero or Baretta, definitely try to fuse them. And if you haven't summoned the RNG monsters that you need, like some of them, you can only summon them through RNG. Try to get those through summoning stones whenever they show up in the rotation. So save your stones for those, because these two monsters are key. Like, everyone who gets anywhere in this game is going to build these monsters, like maybe with very few exceptions. But these monsters are pretty much a must-have. When I built my Giants B10 team, I built Veramos, Bella, so these four here minus Baretta, and I also use Amon on my Giants team. So it really helps if you obtain these units that are easy to obtain and you use them everywhere, right? When I was looking up teams and doing research to figure out what my TOA team should be, this was one of the most highly recommended teams to anyone. All of these monsters are super strong, and I would recommend this to any new player for a Trial of Ascension team. So basically, the strategy goes, this team works so well because of the control you have over the enemies. Baretta and Veramos are going to be your main damage dealers, and what they're going to do is they're going to have stuns on the enemy because Baretta's going to be on Despair. Veramos' second skill has an AoE stun that has like a chance to stun. Shannon is also on Despair, so her Decelerate, which is her second ability, is going to have a chance to stun, and it's going to slow the enemies. Bernard's going to speed you up, so your team has more turns, and Baretta also has an attack bar reset, so you're just going to be able to control the enemies and put dots up constantly, and they're going to die. This team that I'm using here is also my Dragons B9 team right now. They have a fairly high success rate. They do fail sometimes, but they're doing pretty well, so I'm having a lot of success with this, and all I have to do is farm Dragons B9 a little bit more, well, maybe a lot more, to get better runes, and then I'll be home free in Dragons B10. I still have to 6-star some other units for that, because I'm not going to use this team for Dragons B10, but I'll probably use most of this team. So another suggestion for new players, I already said this, but build units that you're going to use everywhere. It's going to help you out so much, so you're not all over the place working on a bunch of different units. So my strategy for this level specifically is going to be kill the sylphids first, then kill the beast monks, then kill Woonsa. And while you are killing the ads, you want to keep Woonsa debuffed, and you want to try to reset his attack bar, because he's really strong. And these monsters are all dark, which means they'll do a lot of damage to your Bella, and you need her to, keep your team healed up and stuff like that. The sylphids are also the strongest next to Woonsa because the sylphids can like 1 or 2 shot your Bella. That's why you're going to go for them first. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the clip and we will get into it. And I'll like tell you guys what I'm doing and stuff. So I'm going to use all 3 of my abilities that can stun. So I'm going to use Phoenix Fury, Veramosa's like Stomp or whatever, and then I'm going to use Shannon's Decelerate to get that slow out, and to also try to stun the other Sylphid and the Beast Monk. I think I choose to debuff the Beast Monk here instead of Woonsa, which is why he gets such a big attack off. Also, the Sylphids have a huge heal, so that's another reason why you don't want them having more turns, because they're just going to heal up and stuff like that. So if you see how many dots these monsters have on them, it's a lot. That's why I really want my Baretta max skilled, because a lot of these mobs cannot handle being dotted so much. When the dots do tick, they do a lot of damage. So when my Baretta gets max skilled, he's just going to be able to be putting out more dots more often. That's why speed is also really important in Trial of Ascension, so you can just have more control over the enemy and have your abilities up when you need them. At this point, I pretty much have it controlled. I'm getting really lucky stuns. If you guys are using this strategy and you aren't getting stuns, you can keep trying it. One of the levels last rotation took me like 30 tries or so, and I finally got it. But if you guys are getting frustrated, or you feel like you're working too much and there's not really a chance of you completing the level, I would definitely take a step back, which is sometimes necessary if you find yourself failing too much, and think of what you can improve that's in your control. So some of the things that you can improve, the most obvious and probably the most important one is your runes. This whole game is pretty much just about getting better runes and farming runes all the time. You're going to want to farm a level of giants and dragons that you're capable of and that has a high success rate. And then it's going to take a while. Like, farming runes takes a long time. So this whole game is also kind of about patience too, especially like with me. I'm a free-to-play player, so I have like a lot of time to think about what my next move is going to be, what's the best move, and I can't really make many mistakes with like 6 stars, especially because if I make a unit 6-star that I'm not going to use or isn't too helpful for me, then that just puts me back like a couple weeks from making another 6-star that could help me. That's also why building few units is going to help you a lot as a free-to-play player or just any player. And another thing you can improve is, so I mentioned runes, you can make some of your monsters 6-star. If they aren't, my whole team here is all 6-star. You can also upgrade your Sky Tribe totem. Like I mentioned before, speed is so important. Mine was level 6, I think, here, and right now it's level 7. And also your team comp. So if you're not using this team comp and your team isn't finding much success, I would suggest going on probably Reddit or asking someone who is successful in this game what they recommend. I'm probably not the best person to ask because I'm still fairly new and I don't really know too many monsters and how they work because I haven't tested them myself. So all I can really provide you guys with is my team that I'm using right now. So definitely do some research and see what you can do with your units. I kind of like think maybe I got a little bit lucky with not summoning anything too great, because then I have to like do all the work to figure out how it fits into my team and stuff. And I was just able to build like the simple beginner team. So another strategy that you guys can do is to go straight for the boss, but this may require better runes and you have to have monsters that actually do damage. My monsters right here don't actually do damage. They pretty much just put up dots and then the dots do the damage. So I would suggest having a monster that has the HP debuff, the unrecoverable debuff, like maybe Brienne or Colleen. because the Woonsa does have the heal, and the sylphids can heal also, so you're not going to want him to heal, so you're going to want that debuff on him. Yeah, so I think that's all I have, like, tips-wise for you guys. So, I hope this video helped you, and I will have more videos out in the series coming out soon, so I will see you guys in the next video.